If you suffer with insomnia or sleep issues, you'll know how debilitating it can be. Poor sleep over and over again can make you feel like you're going to mentally and physically break down. If you look to conventional medicine with questions about your insomnia or other sleep issues, you may be told a number of possible reasons for why you can't sleep. And some of them may carry some truth. Your doctor or health practitioner may say the cause of your sleep problems are grief, anger, anxiety, depression, worry, restless legs, or chronic pain, or you may be told you have sleep apnea. All of these things can be a part of the challenges you are having. But there's much more to understand. For example, what is truly the reason behind your restless legs, depression, anxiety, and aches and pains? Different kinds of sleep disorders. Everyone experiences sleep problems in vastly different ways. Read the following descriptions and take note if one or more of them apply to you. 1. You cannot fall asleep at first, then eventually you fall asleep after several hours. When you wake up in the morning, you do not feel well rested because you could not fall asleep right away. 2. You fall asleep right away, but you wake up in the very early morning unable to fall back asleep before it is time to get up. You get a racing mind as the sun starts to rise and anxiety because you are unable to fall asleep. 3. You initially fall asleep easily, but then you wake up in the middle of the night unable to fall back to sleep until the early morning when you fall asleep again. 4. You are in and out of a miserable sleep all night long because you never fall into a solid restful state. You keep getting the frequent urge to urinate, which gets you out of bed over and over. 5. You cannot sleep the entire night, and when morning comes, you feel completely exhausted and crash at various times throughout the day. You may or may not attempt a quick nap here and there. Then when it is time for bed, the whole thing starts over again. 6. All throughout the day you are exhausted and you struggle with all your tasks, and all you can think about is the next chance you get to lie down and close your eyes. All you want to do is go to bed. When nighttime hits, you are suddenly awake and it is difficult to wind down enough to get to sleep on time. 7. You are able to fall asleep and stay asleep for a full night, only you wake up feeling like you need another 8 hours. Maybe your loved ones report that you snore or you have very shallow breathing throughout the night. They say you woke yourself up snoring, which makes you come to understand that your sleep is broken all night. 8. Just as you sink into deep sleep, a jerk happens. Either your arm, neck, head, or leg jerks and it wakes you up again. Sometimes you can bypass it and you can fall asleep. Or you wake up in the middle of the night to urinate and then you go back to bed and can't fall asleep because the jerking occurs once again. 9. You are tired and ready to go to sleep, except there is a weird buzzing sound or another symptom keeping you awake. This can be either tinnitus, restless legs syndrome, itchy skin problems, or aches and pains. The potential causes of sleep disorders. While many experts today will lump most of these sleep disorders under thyroid problems, this is a trendy trap that you need to be aware of so you don't fall prey to it and start addressing an issue that isn't even the cause. Sleep issues have nothing to do with the thyroid. No two causes of sleep problems are the same, just as no two sleep disorders themselves are the same. While people's sleep issues may be very similar to each other, they will never be identical. Liver issues. One possible cause stems from a liver that's overheated, stagnant, or sluggish from toxins and a diet too high in fat or processed foods. The liver could also be inflamed because it is trying to fight one or more pathogens, viruses and bacteria, that have nested in the liver for many years, even decades. And they are releasing neurotoxins and dermatoxins. When you go to sleep for the night, your liver shuts down operation and runs on autopilot. By around 3 or 4 in the morning, it's different for everyone. Your liver starts to wake up again and once more begins to process poisons, viruses, and debris, such as dead cells, including dead red blood cells. If you have a sluggish liver, then as the liver tries to do its job at this time, it goes into subtle spasm. Most of the time, it's not anything you can feel, but for some people it's enough to wake them up. This accounts for those nights when you fall asleep normally, then suddenly you're up again in the early morning hours, and after a certain period of time, you're able to nod off again. This can also explain those miserable nights of sleep where you drift in and out the whole time. Viral issues. Viral issues are one of the major causes of trouble with sleep. The Epstein-Barr virus, shingles, Cytomegalovirus, HHV6, and even some bacteria can poison our systems and keep us up at night. That's because viruses such as Epstein-Barr excrete neurotoxins, which can create the issues of not being able to fall asleep for hours, or waking in the middle of the night and not being able to fall back asleep. MSG and toxic heavy metals in the brain. If someone has MSG or toxic heavy metal deposits speckled throughout the brain, which is extremely common, these alone can keep a person from getting quality sleep. Mercury deposits are what cause OCD, Tourette's, anxiety, depression, and much more, which, when coupled with a pathogen like Epstein-Barr virus, can only make things worse because the virus is feeding off of the mercury and releasing more poisons, such as neurotoxins. Digestive tract issues. Some people have digestive sensitivities, which are actually connected to the nervous system because nerves are attached to every part of the colon. As food moves through the intestines, it hits those sensitive nerves throughout the night. Sometimes it is so subtle it is barely noticeable, but it can be enough to disrupt your sleep. Even if there is no pain or gas in your gut, these digestive tract sensitivities may be related to your sleep disorder and you simply are not aware of it. Sleep apnea. Sleep apnea can occur if you have a sinus problem or a postnasal drip. It can also occur if you are overweight and lying down, which may put pressure on the chest and throat, prevents proper breathing from taking place during sleep. The third kind of sleep apnea is a mystery to modern medicine. In this case, it is a neurological sleep apnea where the brain is sending out incorrect messages to the vagus and phrenic nerves, using electrical impulses and neurotransmitters that are being weakened or interrupted by toxic heavy metals or viral neurotoxins. Adrenal issues. Another potential cause for sleep issues occurs because of a high-stress lifestyle that pumps adrenaline into your bloodstream all day. Adrenaline keeps you up until very late, and then by the time you wake up in the morning you are exhausted. These are just some of the reasons why your sleep may be suffering. Other possible causes include anxiety, which is not as self-explanatory as you may think, emotional wounds, and other neurological issues. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel.